Hi guys. So I think we can all agree that Godzilla vs. Kong was a really good movie. So in this video, I'm going to be going over what my ideas are for where the Monsterverse could go from here. So my first idea is that we have a movie that sets up Mothra again, since in Godzilla, oh yeah, spoiler alert for all the Monsterverse movies and a bunch of the older movies. So first movie after this is a Mothra movie that sets up the new Mothra after the first one died in King of the Monsters when she sacrificed herself to help Godzilla. Because the way Mothra works is that the last Mothra's memories share on to the next one, so that way the line will keep going. First, we have to set up Mothra again. Yeah, and in the Mothra movie, the main enemy will be Batra, just to set up Mothra again, since we need a main enemy, because Batra in the older movies was Mothra's like opposite, and he was a demon moth thing, so that would set up just a villain for that movie. Okay, so I think the next movie after that needs to be the new Kong movie about him being in the Hollow Earth, mainly with him just setting up the world down there, him being the new king, and then some of the more side dinosaur-like characters from the older series can show up, like have Anaguirus, Gorosaurus, and some other ones. Maybe have Gorosaurus be like the main enemy, since T-Rex like things are well known for being like Kong's biggest enemy. So have Gorosaurus in there, and then have Anaguirus be an ally, since in most of the Godzilla movies, Anaguirus is an ally to most of them. So that'd be just a setup for the world of the hidden world, setting up a few other side monsters that could help out in later movies. Okay, so my next idea for a movie that come after that is another Kong Godzilla crossover movie. So the way I think it'd be cool if would start with a meteor hitting Earth. So of course Godzilla goes to investigate, and as soon as he touches it, there's a big blast of energy that knocks him back, and then it starts to form. And then next it starts to form a version of him, and it is this series version of Space Godzilla from the older movies. Basically, the way they could explain it is it's asteroid that has some sort of bacteria, some sort of tiny living organisms, so they traced his DNA, and then they formed a more powerful version of him. So then a fight starts, and basically Godzilla just gets beaten, and so he calls for help, and like Mothra or Rodan comes and helps them, and it just does enough to scare off Space Godzilla for the moment. Okay, so after that, I don't know what exactly happened in the middle, but eventually Space Godzilla he would crash into the Hollow Earth, going for the energy source. So then there has to be this big fight at the end where Kong and Anaguirus work together with Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan. They all work together to take down Space Godzilla, and it's gonna be like a huge fight, basically where almost all the monsters get close to being killed until right at the end when they're able to defeat him, when the humans are able to step in and help a little bit by sending in a missile known as the Air Destroyer that will ultimately help defeat Space Godzilla. Okay, so after Space Godzilla would be killed, his body would begin to like decay I keep wanting to say the hidden world, that's from How to Train Your Dragon, in the Hollow Earth, and eventually there would be like a little crab thing that would absorb all the energy, and that thing would eventually lead to one of Godzilla's biggest enemies in the older movie, named Destroya, which was one of the only monsters that could kill Godzilla. So I think that movie could then lead into another crossover movie eventually that would have Destroya as the main enemy. And another thing I'd like them to do something over is Ren Serizawa. So Ren Serizawa was the scientist that was in Ghidorah's skull that got electrocuted whenever Mechagodzilla went rogue. So what actually happened is that it explained it better in the novelization of Godzilla and Kong. So Ghidorah actually took control of him. So I think they need to explore that a little bit more with him still being alive and being controlled by Ghidorah. So somewhere in there'll probably be a second Mecha Godzilla, where now Ren created a more powerful one also out of the remains of Space Godzilla, and he's able to take on most of the monsters now that will help Godzilla in that fight. And so maybe have the movie start off with maybe having Ren as the main enemy, and then like halfway through, Destroya steps in and becomes the main enemy. So then maybe Ren has to work together with Godzilla and all the other monsters to defeat Destroya after almost Godzilla gets killed by Destroya. And another thing I'd like for him to explore is maybe the potential of Jet Jaguar. Because Jet Jaguar was a big robotic kaiju in the older movies. So maybe have it where Monarch has seen that you can build mechanical titans. So now, unlike Apex did with Mechagodzilla, making him to destroy Godzilla, they make one to help him, which will be Jet Jaguar. So if you don't recognize any of the monsters' names, you should probably look them up, because you're maybe not all nerds like me. But those are just my thoughts on where the Monsterverse should and maybe potentially could go in the future. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe.